She called herself Fake Barbie. With platinum blonde hair, heavy lashes, bold lips, and a massive following on OnlyFans, Abigail White had built an image around attention, desire, and provocation. But behind the glamour, there was chaos. Born in the UK, Abigail White lived a life that seemed tailored for social media. Risque selfies, wild parties, and fast-paced drama. By her mid-20s, she had built a lucrative online career through adult content. But what the public didn't see were the violent mood swings, the alcohol, the control issues, and a deep obsession with a young man named Bradley Lewis. Bradley, 22 years old, was nothing like Abigail. Soft-spoken, calm, grounded. He was a father trying to rebuild his life, working a stable job, and focusing on co-parenting. When he first met Abigail, he was drawn to her charisma, but he didn't know the storm he was stepping into. Their relationship was toxic from the start. Friends say the couple argued constantly. Abigail was possessive and explosive, frequently accusing him of cheating. She often posted cryptic, angry messages online after their fights. There were police reports of domestic disturbances, some involving physical violence. But Bradley kept going back. Maybe for the sake of their child. Maybe because he thought he could help her. Maybe he was just scared. By March 2022, Bradley had made a decision. He was leaving Abigail. For good this time. And that decision would cost him his life. Friday, March 25, 2022. The day everything fell apart. Bradley had told Abigail he was done. The relationship was over. He couldn't handle her aggression anymore. He wanted peace for himself and for their son. That night, he agreed to stop by her home one last time to talk, or maybe to say goodbye. But Abigail wasn't calm. She had been drinking. Later, toxicology reports would reveal high levels of alcohol in her system. She had also been messaging friends in a rage, saying things like, "If he thinks he's leaving, he's got another thing coming." In one chilling voice message, she said, "I'm fully capable of killing him. He doesn't know what I'm capable of." And yet, when she took the stand in court, Abigail would insist, "I never meant to kill him. I just wanted to scare him." What happened next remains partially disputed, but the facts are these. Bradley entered the home. An argument broke out in the kitchen. Abigail reached for a kitchen knife. In one swift, chaotic motion, she stabbed him once in the chest. The blade pierced his heart. Bradley collapsed on the floor, bleeding out. Abigail called emergency services in a panic. In the background, you can hear her screaming, "I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to." But it was too late. Paramedics rushed to the scene. They tried to save him. He was declared dead later that night in the hospital. The woman known as Fake Barbie had crossed a line no apology could undo. The trial gripped the UK. Abigail White was charged with murder, though she insisted she never intended to kill Bradley. She pled guilty to manslaughter, citing diminished responsibility, saying she was emotional, intoxicated, and not thinking clearly. But the prosecution painted a much darker picture. They played voice recordings where she made threats. They showed text messages to friends where she wrote about hurting him if he dared leave. They even showed photos Abigail had taken on the day of the murder, selfies in the mirror, pouting, posing as if nothing had happened. Abigail had claimed Bradley had pushed her and she acted in self-defense. But there were no signs of a struggle. No wounds on her body. No evidence that Bradley had posed any threat. The prosecution's case was simple. This was not an accident. This was premeditated violence. The jury listened. They watched her cry. They watched her blame everything, her childhood, her mental health, alcohol. But in the end, the judge wasn't convinced. Mr. Justice Fraser addressed her during sentencing. "Your claim that you only wanted to scare him is not credible. You intended to kill." In July 2025, Abigail White was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 18 years to serve before being eligible for parole. The courtroom was silent except for Bradley's family. Tears, relief, and heartbreak. Today, Abigail White sits behind bars. Her OnlyFans account is gone. Her fame has faded. The girl who once craved attention now lives in near-total isolation. But the consequences of her actions echo beyond prison walls. Bradley Lewis's family has spoken out about their grief, their anger, and their warning to others. If you see red flags, take them seriously. Abuse is not just bruises. It's threats, control, fear. His sister told reporters, We watched him get pulled deeper and deeper into something toxic, but we never thought it would end like this. Bradley was more than a headline. He was a father, a brother, a son. He loved his child. He had a future, and in one moment of rage, it was taken away. The case of Abigail White, fake Barbie, is not just about a crime. It's about obsession, control, and the dangerous myth that love means possession. It's a reminder that toxic love is not love, that threats are never harmless, that walking away can sometimes save your life, and that one bad decision, one fatal moment can destroy everything.